So, if you don't know, I started Terraria on June 30, 2023, and it has been one of the biggest games I've ever played on the channel, behind Field Trip Z and Piggy, of course. The only other time I played this game was with my friends, and I played for 10 minutes, and I got off because I had absolutely no idea what to do. So, I decided to sit down and play this game again on June 30, 2023, and it went from me not being able to build a house to slaying the Moon Lord in just 13 days. This is how I did that. So on day one, I thought the Daniel, the guide guy, was actually an enemy. I know. I didn't really know what to do, and I saw some trees, and I saw I had an axe, so I just decided to dig right in, get my axe, and don't ask why I switched to a pickaxe. I got my axe, and I just started mining down a tree. My first day was pretty interesting. I got pretty scared over some slimes, and accidentally kept dropping my sword. Don't ask why. Apparently I got lucky at a godly copper sword, so that's pretty cool. And day one, I was discovering some crafting recipes. As you can see, I figured out how to make my first workbench in a very long time. I didn't know how to use it, but I learned that you had to stand on it or be near it. And I was looking through the recipes, and I was just scrolling through the entire menu without hitting the hammer. I saw that I could make myself some wood armor, and that's what I was mainly interested in. And I put it in the blue category. I know. You guys just screamed at me in the comments that I put it in the vanity slot. I'm so sorry for that. And I saw the sword. I didn't know if I should get the sword, though, because my copper sword was godly. But after seeing the damage difference, decided to get it, because why not? So now it's nighttime, and I figured out that Daniel can actually fight back. I actually called that, I didn't know that was a zombie. I thought that was a completely different creature. And as you can see, I thought that was an actual wall for a house. No, they walked right through it, and I was very, very confused, because I was like, yo, why did they walk through my wall? That's not how this works. I fight off a zombie with my wooden sword, not the copper sword. And I'm just watching things going through the wall, and I'm like, why? Give me your stuff. What is that? Bro, what the? As you can see, my mic was muted, sorry for that. I found a fallen star, my very first fallen star, and I had absolutely no idea what to do with this, so I decided to hold on for it, because it could be used for anything. I killed my zombie, and I continued from there, trying to build a house. I fought off some more zombies, picked up another fallen star, got jumped by a slime, and that was my first in-game day. And that doesn't count as one of the days. I mean 13 in real life days. As you can see, I was clearly trying to build a house, and this is my first fight with a blue slime. I was scared, but I killed it. As you can see, I thought I was making progress. No, that is not a house. That is stupid. After a little while of being scared to run in this cave, now that I have a wood armor, I decided why not. And the first thing I automatically found was a chest. And it had wood of sparkling, glow sticks, shurikens, mining potions, bottles, and 69 wood. Nice. And then I went in my first cave. Didn't know you can ride those, because I didn't know you had a minecart until I hovered over it and gave it a try. And then I saw these red slimes, and I was panicking. I was like, whoa, how much health is this thing gonna have? I tried to hide from it, but that obviously didn't go well. I figured out you could pop the minecart, so I just decided to run away from it, because I was a scaredy cat. I was trying to place torches down, and obviously you could see I wasn't able to do that either. And I decided I'm gonna fight this thing with my torch. I kept running, and I broke its ankles. Ooh! Alright, I got my sword. I'm ready to fight it, and we're doing good. And another one shows up. Two, of course. Good news is, though, I think I end up killing the red one here. It'll take a sec. There it is. And after fighting off against some red slime and just wandering around the cave, not picking up ores because I never knew what they looked like, I heard a strange noise. Oh my god, what is that? To this day, I still have no idea what we call those things, but I literally, as you can see, I have the video paused. I got jumped, and it took 3 hearts. 3! But let's keep going. After, like, panicking to find my torch, I was still getting jumped by this creature, and I was extremely scared. I wouldn't even know I could place it. Like, I thought I could place it on the minecarts, but I can't. I got jumped by it again, and then a yellow slime appeared. And that is when I was like, yo, let's get the heck out of this cave. By dying, of course. Yeah. And that was the end of day 1. Don't worry, day 2 gets a lot better. And a lot of you guys told me I can plant wood, not plant, place wood And that is how I learned that I can actually place wood blocks. So that is when I actually start getting building on my first house. And that's what I did for the majority of day 2. I mean, I didn't really want to do too much. I also wanted to explore, but building a house was one of my main goals. I was looking for my doors, and as you could see, I got my door. Oh, slime broke into my house. It died. I used the pickaxe because I'm like that. And then I plant down a door, and Daniel can't get in. I break the platform and I let him come in my house. Nope, he just walks right away. After that, I started building some walls. And yes, I did not know you can hold control, just so you're aware. And after finishing my house, I decided to go on a little bit of adventuring. And I found myself a desert biome. I found it pretty scary, but I was able to get the hang of things. I used dirt blocks instead of wood platforms, and I encountered my first enemy, the vulture. Now, the vulture has 40 HP, and for me, I'm pretty terrified of those things, because that thing could be anything. It could be anything. A freaking butterfly sacrifices itself, and now it's coming over. Whoa. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Where's my sword? Yeah, what's good? Yeah, I ended up killing it and finding another one, so I just ran. After placing some, light sources in my house, I decided to dig through more of the crafting recipes I can make. And I go mining for stone, because stone can be used for anything. It's used for a lot of things in Minecraft, so I was like, why not try to go find mining for some more ore? And that's when I find my first ore. It's not too much, but I was grateful for what I had. I was screaming because that thing didn't even have an eye on it. I looked more into my crafting recipes, and I realized I was able to make a furnace. And I know how important furnaces are, so I decided to craft one. And after struggling to find a way to place it, I was able to build a furnace. And that was the end of day 2. On day 3, I wanted to see what was more out there than just staying on my base and building. So I did what any logical person would do, and I decided to go even further out, past the desert area. You want to know what I found? I found a crimson biome out of everything I could have found. It could have been anything. It could have been a winter biome. Nope, I found myself a crimson biome. And this biome scares the living heck out of me because of that. Okay, give me this. That thing's got a lot of health. I need to kill it. I just decided to try and run away from it, but everything was just simultaneously attacking me at the same time. And now that thing started running away, so I was like, oh, no, you're gonna get the smoke. But then that guy came out. And then it switched to them chasing me. After a bit of a goose chase, I ended up slaying one of them, but, oh no, hold on. Well, that's embarrassing. Yeah, safe to say that didn't go really well. I also thought that there were specific workbenches that would unlock more recipes for me. So I crafted a cactus one, don't ask why. And I decided to drop some stuff because, I didn't want some junk that was in my inventory. And I completely didn't even know that the trash barn was there. And I decided to pick everything up again. I wanted to go back to that crimson biome, so I wanted to go back there, but I was getting jumped by literally every zombie in the game. I finally made it back, and I discovered a little hole here, but I kept getting jumped by mobs and ended up dying again. But then, I discovered something. The Eye of Cthulhu. What? Yep, I found my first boss summon. I was scrolling through all of them, and I had to figure out how to get these things. I wanted to fight a boss so bad, specifically for Eye of Cthulhu, but we save him for like the 5th episode. So I slayed a demon eye, and once again was trying to figure out not going to the crimson biome, but what was past the crimson biome. And I saw that hole a long time ago, but I was like, I'm not ready for that yet. I finally made it back, and I find my worst enemy once again. I was getting jumped by absolutely everything. And what I mainly wanted to do was I wanted to collect some wood from this specific biome because I saw I was going to be able to make better wood armor. So after jumping a lot of these things, I ended up finding, I think, a spider. And I had so much confidence to kill that thing, but I ended up dying. The good news is I was able to make myself some better armor, and this time, instead of placing it in the vanity slot, I put it in the armor slot. I made a shade table workbench, I don't know why. And then the guide started to speak. He told me I had to go build houses for NPCs, and I was like, what? I mainly was focusing on trying to fight Eye of Cthulhu, but after learning that was way harder than I thought, I decided to just call it a day. However, on day 3, I found my first gold chest, and my reaction was, what is that? A bit over dramatic, but it's okay, because I found some pretty good stuff, and I found myself some shoe spikes. I put it in, not my vanity slot, I put it in the correct spot, the accessory spot, and that was the end of day 3. On day 4, I wanted to see what was past this crimson mine. I had enough, but first, I decided to venture into this brand new cave that I found. Put some torches in it. I don't even remember if they were there before, but someone taught me if I remove everything from a chest, I can actually grab the chest for myself so I can put some storage in it. And I find that pretty reasonable because if there's a chest that's locked, you know, as you can see, I clearly just died by a freaking trap. Thank you, Red Digit. I really appreciate it. I was also thinking of building an extra house so an NPC could move in. So that's exactly what I did. I built a brand new house. And oh yeah, we also met a friend. We met this ghost friend. I never gave her a name, so I'm just gonna call her Jill. I was pretty much just waiting for an NPC to move in this house, and somebody did. We got the merchant. They were telling me about Cthulhu's Eye, and as you can see, he sold some pretty important stuff. He sold me an anvil, he sold me a piggy bank, a bug's net. He sold me pretty much a lot of good stuff that I was gonna need for later on. But now I have this friend, and now with her and my better armor and my better sword, I felt like I think we should go down there. And I ended up dying in the first few seconds. That doesn't matter though. I mined some ore off camera, I believe, so I wanted to smelt that, and I wanted to learn how to use my furnace, and I finally learned how to smelt some ore, and I got myself 7 gold bars. I finally learned what I can craft. I can craft this gold stuff, a type wash, pickaxe. I was like, we gotta get some of this stuff. So I proceeded to mine the absolute worst ore in the entire game and go even deeper in this cave. Now, I actually found a lifesteal here, and then I wanted to go get the other lifesteal that was in this water, but then a boulder killed me. After getting that, I found myself a pink fairy. I literally had no idea what those things were, so I was like literally screaming, and it was trying to tell me something. It was trying to lead me somewhere. Yep, it led me to a life crystal. So Red Digit or whoever added that in the game, thank you. I really appreciate it. I decided to mine that tungsten right there, but then a traveling merchant arrived, and this is my first traveling merchant. I wanted to see what he had. He had garbage. And after seeing a bunch of these tungsten crafting recipes, I first wanted to think that tungsten armor is the first thing I'm gonna go for. A lot of people also said I gotta pick a class at some point. There was melee, ranger, mage, and summoner. And I decided to choose melee as my class. As you can see, my chest is very, very organized. And I can technically fight Eye of Cthulhu right now. I just never knew where the crimson altars were. Well, I went back to mine again, and I found this chest that I blew up by. And let me show you that clip. Headphone warning, by the way, because I do rage. Break. Headphone warning. I beg your pardon. Thank you. Once again, Red Digit. So I went back to the chest, like I previously just showed you, and I completely missed the life crystal down there. And I got myself some more stuff, and that freaking, I almost called it a turtle. That stupid freaking snail almost killed me, and it ends up killing me. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I was not having a good time. I decided to go in the crimson biome, and I kept getting jumped by stupid freaking crimson monsters. Everything in the whole game was making sure I was staying down there and making it my new place to stay. Like, they put me in jail. But thanks to our friend Jill, he killed them, and then another one came. I found the demon altar, or crimson altar, and I was trying to mine it with a pickaxe, but then I learned I'm just gonna die if I do that. And I tried doing it with a hammer, but it damaged me. And then I saw all of them, the altars just sitting there. waiting to be collected. Little did I know, if I brought the lens, I would actually be able to fight Eye of Cthulhu right now. And after learning once again that Eye of Cthulhu is going to be very hard to craft, and I thought it was going to take ages, I decided to just end day 4 right there. But day 5 is really interesting. I also realized that this merchant got more recipes for me. I got a forest pylon. I never really knew what that was, but I didn't buy it. On day 5, I went back into the cave once again, spat on the chest that killed me last time, and got jumped by another, I think, the same snail, and I get my revenge. I kill it. Then I find like myself like this pool of lava, and I'm like, what the heck is that? I decide not to go near it though, and I was too lazy to get back up to the surface by building, so I just decided to drown myself. Now I'm fighting for my life in the Crimson area, and I see the same Crimson altar, and I just decided to give this another try because I have a tin pickaxe. But nope, I can't mine it, so I just leave it be. After battling for my life in the cave and losing that fight, I found myself another gold chest. And don't worry, I made sure that it wasn't another one of those stupid dead man chests. And after mining through the wood and placing a torch down, I opened it and I found myself a night owl potion, 18 bombs, 83 rope, and I got a band of regeneration. I also found a chest that's not a dead man chest right to my left here, as you can see. And what was in that? I don't know why I broke the wood platforms. I don't know why. Don't ask. I found another band of regeneration, 14 bombs, 31 arrows, potions, and just that's pretty much it. I found a big vein of tungsten ore. And I was just looking at my map progress, and I was pretty happy with it. Oh yeah, so I found the jungle biome. I don't even remember when I did that. Then I found a huge vein of gold right there. Well, not huge, but a good vein for me. I saw a green fairy there, and you wanna know why I didn't go there? Let's rewind the video. Let's clickety clack. Pause it, and you will notice. Okay, we gotta go back. Play the video. Da 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 da. It's trying to lead me somewhere. Da 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 da. Yeah, pause. You see that freaking boulder right there? This green freaking fairy tried to get me killed. Nah, I was not having that. And after I noticed that, I was like, oh, no, you're not about to kill me again. So I left it. Nice try, Red Digit. You're gonna have to do better than that. It probably led me to something really good without the intentions of it being a dead man chest or something, but there was nothing there, as you can see. So I was like, no. I also found myself one of the zombie merchants that are underground. He sold some okay stuff, but stuff that never really interested me other than the purple counterweight. I found another chest, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, yes, there it is. The eye that summons the Eye of Cthulhu. And I was very excited when I found this, and I was like, oh, we're going to be able to fight Eye of Cthulhu. And that's what we end up doing later on in the video. I grabbed the eye and ended up moving on. I didn't want to go all the way back up because I was lazy. I was once again questioning why was there like this orange, I called it orange stuff, but it was lava. I didn't know what it was. Anyway, I just ended up drowning myself and just going back up to the surface to see what I was able to craft. And after just looking through my recipes, looking at what I could craft, I finally did it. My very first boss. We end this video with a bang. What? What are you? It finally got into its second phase, which scared the actual heck out of me. But at 16 health, this guy was, I finally ended up killing him, and that was day number 5. I ended up getting bars, getting the blood butcher, and that was it for day number 5. On day number 6, I discovered utter pain and suffering. I found the Angular. Yay! I didn't know yet that that guy was going to be absolute pain. After fighting Eye of Cthulhu, I honestly had no idea what to do, so I just decided to ask this guy for help. And he was just recommending me to, you know, get some NPCs in the house Well, in our village, nothing too crazy. So I start working on another house, and there we go. We got ourselves another house for another NPC to move in. I was also looking at Deer Thing, which all I needed to fight Deer Thing was actually 3 Flinksy Fur. And I never knew how to get Flinksy Fur, so I never ended up fighting him. I decided to build straight up. I don't know why. It's because, like, my friend told me about some sky islands in the sky, so that's why I did that. Ended up dying again, but I crafted myself another Eye of Cthulhu, and I'm not gonna play the boss music this time because you already saw this part. He actually folded though. Once he was getting a little, no, he ran away. Can you believe it? I wanted to see what was behind me as well, so I went behind me and I found myself a winter biome. And I found these 2 big trees, like the big trees, which are actually really good. I never found anything in them though. That's because I never went in them and bothered to go in them. And then I found myself a town slime. He had a copper sword. I really didn't know what he was doing. He was just sitting there. So yeah, he was just sitting there. I didn't know if it was letting me to pet him. So I just decided to fight Cthulhu. He came from the bottom this time. I don't know why. Doesn't really matter though, because I ended up killing him. And I crafted myself a better axe, and that was the final axe I was gonna craft for myself, because just crafting better axes would be sort of a waste of materials, because why do I need to chop down things faster when I can already chop them down pretty fast regardless? I ended up dying by silt, but I also found myself a magic mushroom biome, and I found these pretty good. I had a green slime banner. I don't know why I pointed that out. Below is actually another magic mushroom biome, and I flooded the whole place with lava accidentally, and then I realized it was getting bigger. So, I had to be pretty careful about that. I found a whole bunch of gold, but I didn't want to detonate the TNT off because I was worried that I was gonna die. After just going deeper and deeper, I found what you call hell. It was pretty spooky down there, and I was being very, very cautious. Like, very cautious, because I didn't want to die down here. But then that thing came out of nowhere and almost killed me, but I was battling for my life, but I ended up surviving. And I find this obsidian wall building, and I was like, yo, there could be some good stuff in there, man. Some good stuff. I couldn't mine those, but I was definitely going to need it for later, and I didn't forget about it. And that is where I was like, oh, wait, you need keys for chests now? And I was getting absolutely jumped by demons. Like, absolutely jumped, but I ended up surviving. And I decided I wanted to leave, so I killed myself, and I keep dropping all of my gold. And now I'm back to the surface, and I realized that they didn't move into my house yet, so I decided to hang up my green slime banner. And then I crafted myself some tungsten helmet, a tungsten boots, and a tungsten iron chestplate. And I wanted to see what was in this winter biome to find Flink's fur, so yeah, I never even knew where Flink's fur was. I just thought it would be in the winter biome. So I just kept going to more of the left, and that is where I found Skeletron's dungeon. And I was looking at old man, and he's like, my master cannot be summoned under the light of day. And this is exactly what I said. What? Who's your master? And I was just going down into the dungeon, and I didn't know that I was gonna get absolutely flamed by dungeon guardians. And I wanted to come back at night, and that's when my first battle with Skeletron happened. Oh my god! What the frick is that? Bro! Wow! So yeah, I was fighting Skeletron, and I was getting hit by all of his attacks. I already had to use a potion, and you would think that I didn't beat him, because you're supposed to fight Brain of Cthulhu before Skeletron. But guess what happened? I got both of his hands extremely low. Because of my ghost friend, I was able to destroy both hands, and that is what made it very easy from there. And I had to wait for my potion to regen, and I was like, I can't fight this thing, I can't fight this thing. I was shooting my flaming arrows at it. I was doing absolutely everything I can to kill this thing, because it could drop anything. Even though it didn't drop too much, it just dropped some gold. It unlocks the dungeon, which is very useful. So all this man was doing was just spinning his head at me. And it took some time, but I ended up killing him. On my first try, Skeletron first try, guys. And then I called day 6 a bang. On day 7, I went back to the underworld because I didn't really know what was down there, so I explored it some more. And I didn't do too much on day 7 other than just trying to see what was in the sky, so I'll just skip to the good part. I found myself a sky island, and I was able to get myself something very, very important for later on. I found myself Star Fury. And not only that, it was better than my blood butcher. I think it did more melee damage. I also decided to go in the jungle caves because I wanted to see what was down there. And this is where I started to build my stack of houses, because somebody said I'm gonna have to build like a stack of houses on top of each other. So this is what I did. I built the first house. I moved my house on my original house and put it here. And I got the angular, yay. And I also got the nurse, which was going to be pretty important. I decided to go look in this cave because I never really explored it too much. Didn't really find too much interesting. Went back to the jungle, found the edge of the map, but not to see what was over there, to go fishing. And I fished out a shark bait, which is a pet. And I didn't really know how to use it. I thought I just had to click on it. And I think that's one of the ways. Yep. And as you can see, I got my very first pet. And yeah, day 7 was sort of boring. That's pretty much all I did. On day 8, a slime raid occurred when I was literally just going to mine. And that's when it happened. What the? What? King slime. Oh, wait! Hold up! Wait! Oh my gosh! He's here! He's here! Run, 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 run! After killing another Eye of Cthulhu, as you can see, I got a lot more banners, like a lot more banners, just to help me with the Crimson biome. I also got myself a tungsten chestplate, and I found myself one of those. I don't know if I had enough recipes to craft it. I did, actually, so I put it in my 8th slot, and I just placed it down on my roof. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. And I was looking at the mechanical eye, the mechanical worm, and the mechanical skull, which are the 3 mechanical bosses that I only have to worry about later in the game. I fought those things now, I'd get absolutely destroyed. And I was tired, fed up of having my dang inventory full all the dang time. So you want to know what I did? I crafted 10 chests and put them on a random platform just so I would have them on a platform and I could store all my stuff. And no, I didn't organize them, lol. And then I found an ice cave, which is pretty cool. I mean, I just found a random ice cave. Found a minecart. I also built another house for another NPC to move in because I feel like I should have done that a long time ago. A dryad, or a dryad, I don't really know how to pronounce his name. They moved in. It's like the girl, the tree, the girl who could turn into a tree. I mainly thought she was like a gardener. And I found another one of those, like, I just decided to pop it because I didn't care, and I was like, oh, I didn't die. So, and then I was clearing out my inventory, and I realized, wait, this didn't drop? So now I just have 56 lead ore. I found myself one of those interesting caves. I don't really know what they were. I got some sapphire and diamonds out of it, though. And after killing King Slime once again, and getting myself full golden armor, as you guys can see, I got a slime gun from him. And it's not something that's always guaranteed drop, so that was sort of cool. It was sort of useless. And that is where I called it for day number 8. And day 9, I decided to bring one of my friends because I was a little stuck today. And he's just gonna be doing his own thing. So yeah, I brought Damien on the series. He was pretty cool. He's pretty good at this game. He's like a veteran. And he wasn't gonna spoil anything for me, but if I needed help on something I needed to do and give me tips on what to do next, we were going to do it. Another traveling merchant went by and sold some stuff that I didn't need. And Damien found this random structure. I don't even know still what this is to this day. But it had a chest. I think Damien loot. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. And I found a flying carpet, which he said is pretty cool. And I decide to finally go in the dungeon, okay? The dungeon is absolutely chaos. I also found a couple dungeon slimes, which are pretty cool, so I was able to open some chests, and I got a handgun. I also ended up finding a clothier voodoo doll, 2 shadow keys, and that was about it. And after having me and Damien a shadow key, we decided to go back into hell, just so we could find out, you know, to get some brand new weapons. I found myself a deadly hell wing bow, which is a good weapon. And then Damien found a costume that looks like freaking Toad from Mario. And then we found a voodoo demon. A voodoo demon. If you don't know what those things do, Let's just say they could summon in a boss that I was literally screaming at. And I was like, he told me it was like the wall of flesh, and I was like, I'm scared because the word wall's in there. And I was like, let's just do it for fun. Let's spawn them in. And then I give him the word, and then chaos went loose.
Whoops, my finger slipped.
Damn! Wait, what? Damn! What the heck is that? Damn! Bro, shoot that thing, you nerd! Shoot it! Shoot it! Bro! What? Damn! He got lasers! Bro, shoot him! Oh my god, bro.
He's not very friendly.
What is that? Bro!
That, my friend, is what you call the wall of flesh.
Oh my god. Yeah. That was pretty spooky. But that's gone now. That's gone now. We don't gotta worry about him for now. So, also, I do want to let you guys know that some days are in different videos. Like, sometimes, well, not like multiple. One day could be 2 videos, because sometimes I did 2 like videos in one day. So I may, like, you know, he got me some meteorite armor, which we weren't even supposed to have yet. And we figured out the problem of why we couldn't spawn in the wall of flesh. So, and then this time I actually wanted to try beating him, because I felt like we could do it. I felt like it. Even though it wasn't the right thing to do at the time, I gave it a try, and it was absolutely chaos. Damien was not ready because he didn't have a ranged weapon. He even told me, so I sort of had to do the rest by myself when, you know, the chompers were gone. So he was mainly focusing on that. We had to get through the building right there, and as you can see, it is just a battle for the just battle for everything. If I beat the wall of flesh, something you got to be careful about is not only if you beat wall of flesh you get some cool stuff, you also have to be ready for once you beating him, because he actually unlocks hard mode, which is pretty difficult. Trust me, I did not have fun doing it when I was extremely unprepared. As you can see, I was doing really good, like really good actually, as a matter of fact. And Damien really didn't have a ranged weapon, so he decided to get some poison damage in there with his spear. And he didn't want to die because he'd lose all his gold. But once he ended up dying, I did get all of his gold. So, but yeah, the wall of flesh was slowly crushing us to the very end. If you don't know what the wall of flesh is, that is basically what that is right now. And that is basically how the whole battle went. And he almost is dead. Like, actually very almost dead. And then after Damien's death, I avenged his sacrifice. And I ended up killing the wall of flesh. There's just one problem with that, though. Hard mode. And I did a massive progression skip. If you don't know what progression skipping is, it's basically when you get to a certain point of the game that you're not supposed to be at yet. And I progression skipped very hard. I was supposed to have Hellstone armor. I was supposed to have better weapons. I was supposed to have a better everything. Better everything. And let's just say I suffer so much in hard mode. I didn't even kill Brain of Cthulhu yet. But that's actually not a wrap for day number 9, because me and Damien recorded a day, well, not day 10, but episode 10 right off the bat. And episode 9 and 10 are in the same day. As you can see, I have a Clothier now. I think that's what his name is. And our main goal was to kill whatever the heck the Brain of Cthulhu was. So after just slowly organizing my chests, we went down to the Crimson Cave and we got ready for the Brain of Cthulhu. And I'm not even gonna play any boss music here. We already have our arena set up because this is a pre-hard mode boss. So you want to know what happened to this man? He instantly died. Like, bro got freaking demolished. Look at his health. Look at his health. Look at it. Look at it. Dead. I built some more houses. We also got the arms dealer, which is a very, very important NPC. We also found a meteorite. There was a meteorite that landed and we ended up finding it, but nothing really much we needed to do with it, so we just moved on. And we decided to grind some Brain of Cthulhu because we were going to need its tissue samples for better armor. And look at that. I found another magic Well, actually, it's not another magic mushroom biome. It's the exact same thing. And we went back to the underworld because I wanted to go get some hell. We wanted to go get some hellstone armor. We didn't end up doing that though, so we just crafted our crimson armor, and I got a new NPC. I don't know who exactly that her name is, but I decided to go on an ice cave, and I watched a tutorial on how to get a flinksy fur. Or flinks fur, I'm sorry. Flinks fur. It's a way easy farm you can do. This farm never worked, by the way. At least I don't think it did, but basically you could either get it from drops in the ice area caves and stuff by certain mobs, or you could make like stone. It has a rare chance of spawning. I followed this tutorial, and yeah, that's pretty much what I did right here. I just tried to make flinksy fur farm, and after that I started to build an arena. Not a very good arena. I started to expand the arena a lot. I mean, it was already like that, but now I'm expanding it just because I did a bit of off-camera grinding. And Damien found a little, let's just say he found a mechanical. What? It's 2! Whoa! I don't got a good gun for this. That's a lot of health. That's, whoa! Whoa! Damn! Whoa! I can't even. I'm getting, bro, how do I freaking fight this? Ankles. I just gotta wait for you to get back. Oh, that's not good. Oh. And that was the end of day number 9. On day number 10, I decided to just see what I could craft with the unique items I had. I saw the mechanical worm, I saw all of that, and, day 10 was going to be pretty crazy, because not only in day 10 we fight Flying Dungeon, which was one video. I made day 10 in another video, so I have 2 videos in the same day once again, and we fought Skeletron Prime. As you can see, I'm just trying to go back to Tell, because I'm trying to get some more stuff down there. I want to see what is down there, and I wanted to get us some Hellstone, because Hellstone we're going to need. So for the majority of the video, I just spent like a lot of time just getting Hellstone. That's about it. And then pirates jumped me. Let's just say I died so many times, and not only that, my arena wasn't even like good. Like, it needed to be expanded. So for the another majority of the video, I just spent like many times fighting these pirates, and ended up dying. My village got pillaged. After many deaths, it was slowly starting to turn into a graveyard. And then eventually the pirate ship came, like the Flying Dutchman, and that was my first time fighting that, and I was like, huh? What is that? But luckily, I was able to cheese it, because the Flying Dutchman got stuck. So what I did is I took my yo-yo and I just sat up there, just taking out the 4 weak points, and then being able to take down the Flying Dutchman with ease. I also got a trophy, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I kept on dying, but luckily that was the end of the pirate invasion. After killing one more pirate, which I could not even do, the pirates abandoned and left, and we survived 100%. In day 9, Damien told me that he really wanted a mini shark and needed a mini shark. So what I did is I bought him a mini shark, and I also bought him 9,999 tungsten bullets. And after just wandering around in the sky, I found another town slime. Yay! Obviously, there was another town slime from when I killed the king slime, but that's about it. I don't know where he was going, so I decided to went back down. And that was the end of day 10. Part 1. On day 10, part 2, Damien decided to join back, and I was able to get him his mini shark and his tungsten bullets. And as you guys can see, the corruption was getting very, very bad, and we had to do something about it immediately. But I solved that issue off camera. Oh, and look who it is. It's the green fairy. But this time I decided to follow it, and it actually led me to a chest, which was pretty cool. For the majority of the video, like a big chapter, he also led me to a life crystal. Damien needed that, and he led me to a chest. And then Tim. Oh wait, no, the red wizard. I don't really know what the. I wasn't gonna be able to kill it. I don't even remember killing it. Okay, yeah, I died. A big part of day 10 was just mining for adamanite ore, because we needed a adamanite armor like right away. And then I ended up making an orichalcum anvil, and now we fought Skeletron Prime for the first time. Our first mechanical boss we beat. This is the first time, though. We don't beat it right away, because something very tragic at the end happened. As you can see, we get up to 300 health, but because it was turning daytime, he insta-kills both of us, and we have to fight him the next night. We also gave Queen Slime an attempt. Yeah, that didn't go well. Then we waited till night to fight this punk again, and this time we had it in the bag. We had plenty of time left. He was at 2,000 HP. We had a strategy down, broke down. And after that, after him like being a scaredy cat, we shot him with our mini shark, and we ended up killing Skeletron Prime and getting our first necessary soul for the pickaxe. And that was the true end of day 10. Day 11 once again had 2 videos. I recorded 2 videos on day 11. So, I mean, you could call it like 16 days, but in reality, it's 13 in real life days, trust me. So, now I went digging in the jungle caves, yeah. And I didn't have Adamantite boots. I only had the chest plate and helmet, so I needed to get that later for the set bonus, of course. And I'm mainly just exploring in the caves, just because I'm trying to find some good stuff, like turtle shells or a queen beehive, because, I guess that's what I was looking for. I mean, someone told me there was a bee in the jungle, and Lord, I think you said that, so I wanted to go look for it. And he's a pre-hard mode boss, so he got pretty shredded fast. But let's just cut to that part, because for the majority of the video I am just friggin' mining Adamantite ore for the, you know, the boots. So he's coming through. He got 3,400 health, and I'm extra prepared, so you know what that means. He just gets absolutely destroyed. And now we try to do something that I always wanted to do. We have a 30th crystal at a 30th crystal holder, right? And when you put these two together, you actually make like a, I don't even know what to call them, like a mini waves, like, yeah, old ones armies. And this is the only time I did this, and I had no idea what to do. As you can see, they're coming in from the left, and that's where I only thought they were coming from. I thought they were just coming in from the right. No, they weren't. No, they were also coming in from the left, and then pure chaos just happened. Like, day 11 was pure chaos. I decided to go mining more for some Adamantite for our boots, and I end up getting them. And then I end up killing Skeletron Prime one more time because I wanted it to its hallowed bars, and why not, you know? And on the part 2 of day 11, I spent the majority of just trying to find the Knight's Edge, because my friend said that Knight's Edge is one of the best weapons for pre-hard mode. Actually, not pre-hard mode, just regular hard mode, and it could be very good if you learn how to upgrade it. So for the majority of the video, I literally just spent looking for Knight's Edge. I also give the twins a fight because I got a goblin invasion, but I end up dying. I wanted to see what Mechanical Worm was like, so I give him a try, and I was getting absolutely shredded. And I'm once again hunting for Knight's Edge, and we ended up crafting it, the Knight's Edge. 54 melee damage, obviously, but the thing is, once you beat all the mechanical bosses, you can upgrade it. And then it happened. I had my first, well, I wouldn't say first actual fight because I found them before, but this is my second actual time fighting the twins. The first time was for fun, but yeah, now we're just, like, I have a strategy, okay? You go for the red eye first, because the green eye second form is absolutely terrible. And once I looked at the red eye's first form, I was like, okay, it's not too bad. So I was able to get the red eye out of there because the green eye wasn't in the second form. And then it was very easy to defeat the other twin from there. Knowing that there was not another eye shooting at me was definitely a lot easier and less stressful. So I was able to just keep my distance and end up killing the second twin and beating the boss. And that was the end of day 11. On day 12, I needed some assistance, so I decided to invite my friend on here who was playing the class as a ranger. And I invited him to my world before recording so he could catch up to me. He got there very fast, like very fast. And because of his help, we were able to easily take down the mechanical worm. We don't even have to play boss music because look at this. We're just shredding him. Like having a ranger on our side was definitely going to be significant help. And as you can see, with the power of melee and ranger, we were easily able to defeat the mechanical worm. My friend Vanix also had himself a galaxy crystal, and we were able to get a revenge on Queen Slime after he killed me for the first time. And on accident, I summoned the Plantaria boss, which was the next boss we had to defeat. And I was like, wow, whoa, whoa, what is happening? What is happening? So this is our first fight with Plantaria. I didn't even have I literally did not have a arena set up. I literally didn't know when to summon this thing. I just hit the Plantaria's ball. I pickaxed it because I wanted to see if it gave me something. And no, it spawned this guy instead. So as you can see, I like pretty much going to die. It's pretty obvious. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Vanix was helping me get like some good stuff. Like some very good stuff in the meantime, but I ended up dying. We also ended up doing mechanical mayhem, which was absolutely chaos, but we were actually able to do it. Yep, you heard me. We were able to defeat Skeletron Prime, the twins, and then it was just a mechanical worm, which was a breeze. Having a ranger on my side was definitely a whole lot easier. And then we built an arena for, you know, we built an arena for Plantaria. There's Plantaria's bulb right there, and we were ready to fight him. Now, Corn got me the Angst shield, which was going to be very significant help for later on, like very good. I found a liquid one of you guys told me about in another video, and I dropped my life crystal in there, my life fruit, and we were able to consume one of each for my strength and regeneration. And now we were able to fight Plantaria. Now, the way you beat this boss is just by going in circles. As you can see though, I am slaying him until he gets to his, until he gets to his second form, which his second form is a lot trickier because he goes faster and he has minions this time, but it was a breeze. We were able to kill him pretty quickly. And then a solar eclipse happened, like literally out of nowhere a solar eclipse happened, and we were just going stupid on them, which a solar eclipse was very good. I ended up fighting a Mothra, and the Mothra is a very important enemy because it helps you craft the Terra sword. The Terra sword, one of the best swords ever. I love that sword, and it is a very good sword. Like Broken Hero Sword, True Excalibur, and Dice Edge. As you can see, I am shredding them now. We are shredding them because he got one himself. He also got the wings from Mothra, which is pretty cool. And next thing we did is we went in the dungeon to go fight Golem. Didn't know who he was, but now that I know, he's a very, very easy boss. So he jumps down, and we're pretty much just lasering him. He only had 40,000 health, so we were able to get some pretty good damage off of him in the start. It's his second phase, once again, that makes him hard, just like all jungle bosses. But we were able to kill him pretty quickly. I mean, as you can see, we've already gotten his head, which is the first part, but once you destroy his head, it actually comes off and comes at you, while another part of his body, like the whole torso and a whole other part, is just jumping at you, and his eyes is shooting lasers. But it's a pretty easy boss once you learn how to beat it, and we beat him. And after grinding him off camp, Vanix was able to craft me some Beetle armor, which is going to be the armor we are going to need to fight Lunatic Cultist and the Moon Lord. And that was the end of day 12. And we finally made it. Day 13, the last day. What I did for the very start is I looked on what to do next, because I had absolutely no idea. And as you can see, we got a mysterious tablet here and 4 of those guys. And I decided to attack them, and it worked. They attacked me, so I showed no mercy and killed them. And then the Lunatic Cultist spawned in. Lunatic Cultist is a pretty tricky fight, but I was able to defeat him pretty easily due to his low health. He flies up and spits out some random attacks for you. Most people fill the arena, but I didn't. It's probably because extra mode is a whole lot harder, but I was able to kill him pretty easily. After that, I went on to slay all of the 4 pillars. That's pillar number 2 dead, pillar number 3 dead, and pillar number 4 dead. After that, things were gonna start getting crazy. The Moon Lord summoned, and this is my very first time fighting this guy, and I was screaming. Well, not really screaming too loud, but I was terrified. Not Wall of Flesh screaming, but I was pretty terrified of this guy. Look at him. He looks freaking crazy. I mean, basically, the Moon Lord is the final boss of the game. I heard that they were actually going to bring the actual moon to the player, which would have been really cool, but the idea wasn't working right, so they added him in. What you have to do first is basically, what I recommend doing is I recommend taking down the eye first, because it doesn't really appear that often. because it does his eye does the most damage, and then take out his 2 hands. Although it's going to be a lot harder if you save the eye for last. But as you can see, I got absolutely shredded by him. And this time I fought him again, but this time it was next to my arena. And I underestimated this boss really, like, a lot. Like, I underestimated him. Like, he's strong. Like, he packs a punch. It's because of his main beam that comes from his eye, which is why you want to get rid of it first. I got one of his hands, but he ended up killing me again. I ended up fighting him again, got one hand down, but because I had no more gold for the nurse, I ended up dying by his beam. I ended up giving him 2 more tries for that day. And as you can see, the first try, I just kept getting shredded. I ran into his beam twice, and I ended up dying. But the last attempt, specifically, was the time I won it. Now, before we end, this is the final time we beat Moon, like the final time we fight Moon Lord, and we beat him. The main thing to do, you like gotta dodge all of his attacks. Dodging them is necessary. Having the nurse, like the nurse was very, very, very important. Like very important. Nurse is the only reason why I went against Moon Lord. And I even destroyed most hands. And the reason why you want to go for his eye first, because not only does it not show up that much, when you defeat both hands, when you defeat like one of his eyes, a true Eye of Cthulhu comes out. And that thing does more damage, does a like a beam that does a lot of damage, and it just has a lot more powerful attacks. It's like a lot more powerful attacks. And the eye on his forehead doesn't come out that much. So by the time you're done both hands, you're probably gonna get that eye to half HP, and it's gonna be a lot trickier getting that eye on there. And the eye on his forehead does a beam that does so much damage. So that's why you want to get the eye on his forehead out of there. So when now you're just dealing with one eye, true Eye of Cthulhu, and now you're just dealing with the hands that aren't so bad. But as I was able to get both hands out, as you can see, it's a lot harder for me because I have to now deal with 2 true eyes of a Cthulhu. And as you can see, it's a lot harder dodging his laser. I got hit by it again. He was just beaming and beaming me. True Eye of Cthulhu's attacks isn't really a boss, but like they're very, very, very hard to dodge. And as you can see, his eye is not even at half health yet. And that's what made it very tricky for me. I had no help except for my ghost friend named Jill. As you can see, I literally clutched up so hard. I literally was on 1 HP, which I was like, I find that pretty insane. So after destroying his forehead, I realized that now his heart is open. It's actually called the core apparently, but his heart opened up, and I noticed it right away, and I just like used my Terra sword to keep shooting and shooting and shooting at that, and that was about it, man. I just focused. I was so concentrated. I even told you guys, like, I'm not speaking, like, I gotta beat this guy, and it was all thanks to the nurse, and thanks to you guys giving me all your tips, and your tips just helped me to where I got today. Thank you to Vanix, to Damien for helping me get here. And yeah. Oh my god! Let's go! Let's go! Let's freaking go! Die! Let's go! And that is how I beat Terraria in 13 days. I know it's not expert mode, but trust me, it was very hard for me the very first time. Like, I don't even want to know what expert mode is. But eventually, we will be doing a master mode series, so stay tuned for that. As you can see, I got a staff, I got the portal gun, and I got absolutely everything. If you guys made it this far, thank you. I really put so much work into this video. Probably just been here talking for like an hour, 30 minutes, but I wanted to get this video out for you guys. Just so, like, if anyone stumbles across it and they want to know how I did this, because, like, I would want to know, dude. Because I don't know how I beat this game in 13 days. Because I started off by literally knowing nothing, dude. But because of the help of you guys, I was able to beat it. Thanks to Damien and Vanix once again. Thank you to everyone who commented. Like, I saw your comments. And I really hope you enjoyed how I beat Terraria in 13 days.